Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my player ratings from our 6-2 win against Leeds. So David De Gea, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. He made a couple of good saves to deny Rafinha. And I think David De Gea has enjoyed good games this season for Manchester United where he's made very, very good saves. There's obviously been a few games where he really hasn't had much to do. This is David De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United, so he has been a long servant. He's made over 500 appearances for the football club in all competitions. And I said he will remain our number one for now. Probably will remain our number one for the rest of this season. Now, Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. I thought he made some very, very good interceptions. Totally nullified Harrison. And got forward well quite a few times. Wan-Bissaka has really improved and he's enjoyed very good games this season for Manchester United, but we have got reservations about his lack of attacking intent in his distribution. But yeah, he's definitely the foreseeable future for the football club. Victor Lindelof, now he's going to get a 7 out of 10. He enjoyed a good game, obviously got his name on the score sheet. And he did well defensively. Now, Lindelof's enjoyed some good games as a Man United player, but he's also enjoyed a lot of bad games. Still got me reservations about him. You know, he's a static centre-half and, you know, he's not on the same level as Harry Maguire. Lindelof's enjoyed a good 3 years or so at the football club. We got him in a deal worth £31 million from Benfica back in 2017. Now, Harry Maguire, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought defensively he did well. Showed that ability to play out from the back. I recall him having a chance in the game as well, where he should have scored. Harry Maguire has enjoyed good games this season for Manchester United. Good to see him bounce back from his early season troubles. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment because we got him in a deal worth £80 million and he is our current captain. Now, Luke Shaw, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he showed some good attacking intent, made some good runs, defensively did well as well. I think Luke Shaw's really improved as a Manchester United player. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he's injury prone. Just come back from a hamstring problem not so long ago. Now Fred, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. He enjoyed a good game as well. He obviously had a good chance in the game, so he should have got his name on the score sheet. He was very creative. Fred's enjoyed a good season so far. You know, he's enjoyed quite a few good games. There has been a couple of games where he has looked off the pace. We paid £47 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk a few years ago. Now, Scott McTominay, he's going to get a 10 out of 10. Man of the match for me. McTominay scored our first 2 goals within 3 minutes. Fantastic finishes from Scott McTominay. And he also got an assist in the game. And he was making things happen. McTominay has been at Manchester United now for several years. Bruno Fernandes, he's going to get a 8 out of 10. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes got 2 goals in the game. One of them came from the penalty spot. He also got an assist in the game. And Bruno Fernandes was very fluent in attack. You know, Bruno Fernandes has made the difference in this team. He's been at Manchester United now for almost a year. Won Player of the Month for November, don't forget. He's won Player of the Month now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. In most of Bruno Fernandes' games, he has been very, very consistent. There's only been the odd couple of games where he has lacked that composure and he has looked off the pace. Now, I think it said after our 3-1 win against West Ham a few weeks ago that we was preparing to offer Bruno Fernandes a new £200,000 a week contract, doubling his current wages, because he's on around £100,000 a week at the moment. But yeah, he's going to get an 8 out of 10 from me. Daniel James, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. Daniel James enjoyed a very, very good game. Got his name on the score sheet. That was his first goal in a while. Made some very, very good runs. Got into some very, very good positions. I was surprised at Daniel James starting. I didn't think he would have started because actually Daniel James has lost his place in the team. We got him in June last year in a deal worth £18 million. So yeah, I think I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10, Daniel James. Marcus Rashford, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought Marcus Rashford enjoyed a good game. Made some very, very good runs. Kept the ball well. And Marcus Rashford has really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Marcus Rashford has been at Manchester United since 2005. He's been a United player since the age of 7. And he's been in our senior squad since 2016. So he's been in our senior squad now for a good 4 years. A good 4 years, something like that. And you know the news on him, it recently said in the new year, we will offer him a 5-year contract worth around £300,000 a week. His current contract runs until 2023 and there's an option of a further year. And he's currently on around £200,000 a week at the moment. We need to keep Marcus Rashford out wide because that's where he's more effective. But a few times we have played him centrally. Anthony Martial, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. Anthony Martial's was very fluent in attack. I thought he kept the ball well. His movement was good. He got 2 assists in the game. He had a couple of chances as well, so he should have actually got his name on the score sheet. Martial has now rejuvenated himself because for the vast majority of this season, he's obviously been out of form. Obviously hasn't been clinical enough. Martial was very, very good last season. He scored like 23 goals in 48 games. And he was good in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. You know, Martial's enjoyed a good 5 years or so now at the football club. Sometimes we put him out wide and sometimes we're playing centrally. Solskjaer was the one that gave Anthony Martial that number 9 shirt. We obviously brought some substitutions on in the game. We obviously saw Edison Cavani come on. He made a fantastic impact when he came on. I think he had a couple of good chances. Should have got his name on the score sheet. So I'm going to give Edison Cavani a 7 out of 10. Cavani's just come back from a muscle problem. As you all know, Cavani has been charged by the FA for misconduct for the racist comment that he put on social media last month. And Edison Cavani's got until the 4th of January to react to these charges. And if he's found guilty, he's going to get a 3-match ban. That's minimum. Cavani's done well since he's coming. You know, a few weeks ago, came on against Southampton and scored 2 goals and also got an assist. So he changed the complexion of that game. You know, he scored his first goal for the football club in our 3-1 win against Everton. And he almost scored with his first touch on his Premier League debut against Chelsea. Alex Tellez, he also came on in the game. Going to give him a 7 out of 10. Thought he made some good runs when he came on. And he had a good chance, should have converted it. And Donny van der Beek, he also came on in the game. And I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. So that is your player ratings from our 6-2 win against Leeds. It was just a very, very good performance by Manchester United. You know, we pressed well, we kept the ball well, our movement was very, very good. We created chances, should have actually had more than 6 goals. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said there could have been more goals in the thrilling 6-2 win against Leeds. Obviously, Leeds' 2 goals came from Liam Cooper, and the other one came from Stuart Dallas. To be fair, that was a very good strike by Stuart Dallas. Leeds had a couple of periods in the game. Obviously, like I mentioned on my match reaction, that Rafinha had a couple of chances. Patrick Bamford had some chances, but obviously they weren't on target, were they? He had a disallowed goal, but obviously that was way offside. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said it's too early to talk about a title bid from Manchester United. Yeah, he says you've obviously got to wait until March to access our chances. But it is our second home win at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. And the win puts us up to 3rd in the Premier League. So we are now in the title race. Obviously, Paul Pogba didn't play any part today. Surprisingly, I actually thought Paul Pogba would have started the game. Mason Greenwood, he didn't play any part in the game either. And I thought he might have been involved. You know, Leeds United have not beaten us at Old Trafford in the Premier League since 1981. It was actually the first Premier League meeting between us and Leeds since 2004. I thought Leeds would have put a better fight up though, because they was coming into this game today on the back of a 5-2 win against Newcastle. And don't forget, they've obviously drawn with Arsenal this season. They've drawn with City. They've beaten Everton away. You know, lost to Chelsea 3-1. They just lost to Liverpool on the opening day by 4-3. I think probably Leeds will stay up this season. You know, obviously Leeds won the Championship last season. That was their first trophy in 28 years. Before they won the Championship last season, the last trophy they won was back in 1992, the old First Division. They was out of the top flight for around 16 years, Leeds, because they got relegated back in 2004, because obviously they lost all the money. Marcelo Bielsa is a good manager, but I've got to say, Solskjaer absolutely schooled him today. Marcelo Bielsa has got a good pedigree behind him. You know, he really, really has. So we've won our last 3 meetings now against Leeds. You know, beating them today by 6-2. Beating them 4-0 in pre-season in the summer of 2019. That was in Australia, by the way. Beating them back in the League Cup back in 2011. Beating them 3-0. So there you go. I've got to say, we've been very, very good away from home. When we beat Sheffield United on Thursday, we became the first team to win 6 successive away games after conceding first in a single Premier League season. And we have won our last 10 away games in a row in the Premier League. And we haven't lost away from home in the Premier League since January. So we've gone almost a year now without losing away from home in the Premier League. But I said, you know, we've got to start doing the same at home, not just away. But hopefully now the win today gives us confidence to obviously start winning more home games. Because obviously, we've lost a few games at Old Trafford this season. Lost the opening game against Crystal Palace 3-1. Lost to Tottenham 6-1. Lost at home to Arsenal 1-0. Lost at home to PSG 3-1. You know, so there you go. And yeah, I have been saying, haven't I, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer isn't the right manager for Manchester United, and I've been saying stuff like, you know, he's out of his depth and that. But if things carry on like this, I will start changing my perception on Solskjaer. And I hope he can succeed at Manchester United. And Solskjaer's priority is leading the club to long-term success. He's already confirmed that earlier on in the season. And he says we can win the Premier League this season. I'm very sceptical that will happen. We're certainly in the title race. You know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So we haven't won it now for around 8 years. If we was to win the title under Ole, that would be our 21st title. We're on 20 titles at the moment, so we are the most successful team in Premier League history. But I think we can get the top 4, top 3 this season, and I think we're capable of winning a trophy this season. If we could do this, that would represent a very, very good season for Manchester United, and then that would give us something to build on. Don't forget, recently, it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 2-year anniversary at the football club. Yes, it was his 2-year anniversary. He's managed over 100 games as Man United manager in all competitions. And I think he's won around 68. You know, Ole's under contract with Man United until 2022. This is his second full season at the club. We appointed him in December 2018 to replace Jose Mourinho. And he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Now, obviously, we give Solskjaer the job permanently, reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. Obviously, next year, we are looking to make more signings. There obviously has been a lot of players on our agenda. I think Man United need to make around 3 or 4 signings next year. We revealed our transfer plans and we've confirmed the areas where we want to strengthen up. Now, we want a right winger, we want a defensive midfielder, we want a centre-half, and we also want a right-back. We're also going to focus on the outgoings next year as well as the incomings, because he's still deadwood at the football club that we need to get rid of. Next year, I think we'll get rid of Lingard, Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo, Romero, Igalo. There's obviously been rumours of James leaving. If James gets more chances, which he should do at some point, you know, he needs to keep his good form up as how he played against Leeds. There's obviously been rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan because he is now our third choice left back. Matic could leave next year as well because I think he's too inconsistent now. Is Matic, you know, possibly Juan Mata could leave as well. But Solskjaer, I think, will get the backing he wants. Well, I'm hopeful he can get the backing he wants. You know, he wasn't obviously backed enough during the summer transfer window because we missed out on all of his priority targets. But Woodward's come out several times, and he's come out several times to support Solskjaer, hasn't he? Despite us having a poor start to the season and despite us getting knocked out of the Champions League. I said to you, didn't I, that the board's been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years. But yes, certainly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will still be Man United manager in the new year. With how good we've done recently, I think we must be unbeaten now in like our last 6 or 7 league games, something like that. I think he probably will still be Man United manager at the end of this season. Thinking about it now, it probably would be the right solution, you know, to keep him for the rest of this season and see how things go from here. he has been under pressure quite a few times, you know, since he's come in. Obviously, there has been talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in to replace him. He's been the favourite to take over at Man United. There's also been talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in. Earlier on in the season, Julian Nagelsmann was also on our agenda. You know, Solskjaer has gained managerial experience, reflecting now on he's been at Manchester United now. But obviously hasn't got a proven pedigree, because obviously before he came to us, he was at Molde. Yeah, he did win a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was disastrous. But if he can, you know, get us in the right direction, Solskjaer, and we can continue this good vein of form, and he can start winning trophies, then he will be a successful manager. There's no doubt about that. And yes, let's be honest, his decision-making in a lot of the games he's managed at Man United have been wrong. And obviously, with his poor decision-making, that's cost us a lot of games. But there's obviously some games as well where he does get decisions right. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? You know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has endured 4 transfer windows so far at the football club, and he's spent over £200 million. In the summer of 2019, he brought Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January, he brought Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in. And in the summer transfer window of this year, he brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Facundo Pellistri and Amad Traore. Amad Traore will be joining the football club in January, won't he? Because Fabrizio Romano recently revealed that he's received his passport, Amad Diallo Traore, and he will complete his transfer to Man United in January. We're not sure if he's going to immediately get into the first team. So the January transfer window will be Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as Man United manager. Ollie's also brought a few young players into the club. I've got to credit him for that. He did well in his first full season last season. Got us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League and got us 3rd. We've also seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in. So he's definitely positive to take, and we've enjoyed some very, very good periods under him. You know, obviously we've sacked 3 managers since Ferguson left, and that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. We've only won 4 trophies as well since Fergie left, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield under Mourinho. So we haven't been so good for the last 7.5, 8 years. We haven't won a trophy now for almost 4 years, so we have got to win a trophy this season. Haven't we? We spent a lot of money, you know, we spent over £1 billion on players in the last 7.5, 8 years. We brought around 36 players in since Sir Alex Ferguson left. I don't think any manager at Man United or any manager in general will replicate Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy, but I am certain that we will get back competitive again and we will get back winning titles and winning, you know, major honours and that. I do think it will happen. You know, like I said, we probably won't win the league this season, but maybe next season or maybe the season after. You know, we still do need to strengthen up. You know what I mean? But, like I said, you know, Ferguson endured 27 years at Man United and he won a total of 38 major honours, including 13 Premier League titles. But Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. No one will last as long as Ferguson at Manchester United, will there? Nobody. You know, the 2 longest serving managers is obviously Ferguson and Arsene Wenger. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But yeah, very, very happy with today's result. We've obviously got Everton next in the Carabao Cup. That's going to be a tough game for us. Everton have been in good form. In the last 3 games, they've beaten Arsenal, they've beaten Leicester, and they have beaten Chelsea. We've beaten Everton once this season already. We're beating them at Goodison Park 3-1 in the league. Everton, I think, are in the top 4 now, aren't they? They were somewhere round about there. It's a Carabao Cup quarter-final, by the way, on Wednesday. We progressed to the quarter-finals by beating Luton in the 3rd round, 3-0. And we beat Brighton in the 4th round, 3-0. Everton, though, have got a very good manager in Carlo Ancelotti. He's been at Everton now, I think, a year, or is it just over a year? You know, he's got a good pedigree behind him. He's won around 15 major honours in his managerial career as Carlo Ancelotti. He signed a few players at Everton. Obviously, he brought Decore in, he brought James Rodriguez in, he brought Allen in. He brought Ben Godfrey in. He also brought Olsen in, was it, on loan. So Everton have got some good players. Now, after Everton, we've got Leicester, and Leicester's going to be a tough game. They beat Tottenham today by 2-0. And after that is Wolves, and then it's Villa on New Year's Day. So games are coming up thick and fast for Manchester United. We've got to continue this good vein of form. Haven't we? We really do have to continue this good vein of form. Obviously, you know the news on Paul Pogba. I give you the news on him this morning. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has warned Paul Pogba that nobody is bigger than Manchester United. Obviously, we're expecting Paul Pogba to leave the football club next summer. To Paul Pogba's credit, though, he has been in form recently. Don't forget, Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola, his agent, because Mino Raiola said the other week, he told Tutto Sport that Paul Pogba's time at Man United is over, and he is unhappy, and he has to leave, and he's got no intention of signing a new contract. Then all of a sudden made a fresh statement, did Mino Raiola, saying that it's unlikely to leave in January, but he can leave next summer. Obviously, Paul Pogba spoke about his future for the first time since them comments and said that he's always fought and he will always fight for Man United, for his teammates and the fans, and he's 1000% involved in our project. You know, there's been a lot of rumours of him going back to Juventus, hasn't there? There's been swap deals on the agenda. We triggered that 1-year extension on his contract earlier on in the season, so he's under contract with Man United until 2022. So there you go. But I think next year we'll go back in for Sancho, because he was our #1 priority target during the summer. I think we could go in for Erling Haaland. Jack Grealish, I think we could also go in for him. Dayot Upamecano, I think we could also go in for him. He's available for around £37 million, is it, at the end of the season, because that's when his release clause does become active. Ousmane Dembele, he's also been on our agenda. I give you the news on David Alaba recently. Man United are interested in him. There's a few clubs in for David Alaba though. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon. Thanks for watching.